Hi, in this video I want to explain some possibilities to get materials in the game Guns of Glory. To craft any equipment you need, besides the designs, also materials. Initially it might be difficult to get some good designs, but in my experience later on, especially when you're able to kill the higher level beasts, it will be quite easy or quite common to get good designs, but getting the sufficient materials to craft the equipment based on these designs will be very hard. So I focus not on getting the best designs, but on getting the necessary materials here and discuss some different methods. One thing compared to some other games that's very important to know is any gear that you can craft, you can dismantle here as well in the equipment part of the forge. There's a dismantle button which gets you back exactly the same amount of materials as you used to craft the material. So from that point of view, you cannot, there's no problem if you first craft some simple designs, simple equipment, and later on dismantle these and get some better or craft some better equipment. So don't worry about that. So actually dismantling equipment is a very important way to get materials. Another way is killing beasts. So killing beasts, depending on the level of beast, you get materials. In general, I still always kill the highest possible beast that I can, believing that will give me the best and most expensive materials. Often you still also get some of the cheaper, you have a chance of getting some of the cheaper materials as well. So that's definitely good. Use your stamina either to kill beasts or to rally red guards. Rally red guards can also give you some materials as well. Besides that, actually, when you just send your troops out together, you also have some chance of getting material. So far, I've only seen the common materials like coal, ebony, animal hide and beast fang to be dropped by gathering, but you need plenty of those even for the better equipment. You still often need lots of those 4 basic materials, or at least often 2 of those 4 basic materials. So it's good to you do gathering anyway, but that will also give you some extra materials. So probably those ways you already know. There are some other ways which you might not pay attention to. One of them is in this exchange, actually 3 of them is in the exchange building. The market stall, I don't know if I can show any of them now, but sometimes you get the possibility, there's none of that now, but sometimes you get a possibility to get the material for the discounted price of gold. Normally, unless I have really plenty of the material, I would always do that. Maybe you pay like 8 gold instead of 20 or 20 instead of 50 is always at a strongly discounted price. So do that. Pay attention to that. You're going to do this every day anyway, and pay attention to that and grab those materials for a little bit of gold. These other 2 methods, the auction house, I never really use. Sometimes there are materials to be gotten here as well, but often there are plenty of people bidding and paying large amounts for this, so that's not really beneficial. And similarly for the black market, it can be that you find some nice materials here. But what can happen in my experience is that actually these materials people overpay in the black market. So you don't really have, overpay meaning that it would be more than just spending gold for it. So I wouldn't really use that either. But it's ways you can try, and maybe for you it works out well. Another one that I do use, if you have spent some money on the game, even if you have spent it on a very small pack, you have the possibility to use the shooting gallery. And here some of the fields, like the one I'm using now, shows, can drop some materials, and often already in the first 3 or 4 hits you have quite some materials. I use that one frequently, so I just reset the targets and wait until I get another one with materials, and then I probably open like 4 of the targets to get some materials, and then I switch to the next field. This is definitely helpful to get a lot of the basic materials, and better you can start doing this from scratch. So other methods are that there are sometimes seasonal events that give materials as well, either directly or give some material crates that you can open. You also always should pay attention to the seasonal events, especially if they give you the chance to get some materials for you. Basically, the other thing is you just have to realize that it's going to be tough to craft materials, and often, if you have really good designs, don't necessarily wait until you have the sufficient materials, but don't. You can collect quite some gold in the game, and it's one way I find a good way to use my gold to really craft some good equipment, either equipment that's going to help me in combat, very important, but also if I can get some good equipment that either increases my gathering rate of resources or that increases, for example, my research speed, that's definitely going to be very useful as well. So besides combat, I would also focus on some of these equipments if you get them. And the gold spent, if you later get a better design and can craft a better equipment, you can always dismantle the previous piece again. So the gold spent will always be useful. You can just keep using it for better equipment. So those were some tips on different ways of finding materials, getting materials in the game. I hope this has been useful. If you have any further suggestions or have any questions, please leave them in the comment section, and thanks for watching this video.